Thank you for watching the World Community Magazine's Hour of Power Live on Facebook with your hosts Edward McQueen and April Garner.
We got the signal that says 1, 2, 3. You ready to get on?
It's time.
It's time.
It's time. It's
April,
that time again.
April. Tell you, this, you realize the half of the month is gone?
I said that the other day to some colleagues of mine. Half of November
it's gone.
It's ridiculous.
Man, I don't know. Maybe because we're both busy and it goes by fast. But other people are saying the same thing. But anyway, how you doing today?
I am fine. Yes, it's been a beautiful Monday, a busy Monday, and a little bit closer to the weekend. I live for Fridays.
You wait until next week. Look at you wait until next weekend.
Oh, I'm trying to tell you, I'm so ready.
You're gonna have those glasses on?
I have several. My collection is growing. This is the newest pair. I don't know what I'm going to call her. Some people say it's the Ofrey Winfrey glasses, but I have several pairs.
That's nice. It fits you well.
Thank you.
Fits you quite well. So, April, today, we I want to welcome. First of all, I want to welcome everybody to the show, and we've got some good information that we thought was that was going to be very valuable to the community as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the things that the community on the word on the street to me that they don't hear about. Okay, all they hear about is a name. Okay, and a title like this particular entity that we're about to bring on, but it's an agency that that gives out a lot of itself and a lot of resources that is well needed. But sometimes they think that the word hasn't gotten out, and and people are missing out on a lot of things. Okay, and so as we go along, our guest who's going to be from that agency will give us an item by item specific of what they're doing, and what they expect in the future, so that people will know and where to go to get these things. It's locally. Okay, so what do you say we talk about our guest, April?
Yeah, let's bring her on and let her talk about herself. It's time to meet Miss Shenika Gibbs. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm doing well. How are you all?
We're great this evening.
Sounds like she's glad to be on.
I am.
And still smiling after a long, hard day of work, and you're still working. Technically, you're still working.
Yeah. I am.
And speaking of hard work, April, what is her title? Well, I could ask her what her title is, but she can put it out. She is a community service director, Waccamaw EOC.
Yes.
Tell us a bit about Waccamaw as an overview, general overview for our audience some of the audience probably never heard about it. Okay, people just some of the people who just don't get to get out.
Okay. So Waccamaw EOC is a community action agency that provides innovative services to residents of the Horry, Georgetown, and Williamsburg County communities. We have community services, we have a weatherization program, and we also have a Head Start program.
Okay. Well, I'm just probably a bit more specific about that. We'll ask some more about that as we go along. But I was, we had gotten some information ahead of time about your services there. But for the sake of the audience, certainly what you just said seemed to be just as important. I saw this part about the community service block grants.
Yes.
Now, when you start talking about block grants, that's should catch everybody's eye. Okay. Because
brother Eric, before you go into that, Shenika, you haven't introduced yourself to the audience. She didn't tell us where she's from, all that good stuff. Brother Edward, he's always ready to get into it, right? He's ready to get that. He's the business end.
You want the audience to know exactly everything, but just as important is the fact that you're going to introduce yourself.
Yeah. Okay. Well, as you all shared, I am the Community Services Director here at Waccamaw EOC. I've been with the organization now for about 13 years, but I am new in my role. I do enjoy what I do, helping people and also helping my staff, my coworkers. The job is it's exciting. It's also rewarding because being able to help people to move to self-sufficiency is what our organization is about. We've been in operation now for a little over 50 years. And as I shared before, we do have several different programs, and I'll be able to explain that a little bit more in depth as we go along. But I am from Georgetown, the greatest city around.
Georgetown.
Georgetown, the wonderful city of Georgetown, historic Georgetown.
Right, it's
Married.
historic, yeah.
Yes, I'm married with 3 children. I have a daughter that's in college. She's at Winthrop University, and I have 2 boys. They attend McDonald Elementary School in Georgetown, and they are in pre-K and the 4th grade.
Congratulations! Wow, congratulations!
I
know they're all healthy.
They are.
They are, and you're being careful with this COVID, right? Situation.
Yes, sir. I am. Yes.
Okay. Well, congratulations on that. Again, well, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
And I know we're going to come back later on the show, but we'll move on with what we had planned. But before I forget, when you mentioned historic Georgetown, it's something I want to put in the minds of people what happened here over the weekend about which was historic for Georgetown.
The post office.
Yeah, you're right. Post office, and you must have been there.
I was not able to attend.
Not able to attend. All right, we'll talk about it later. But let's get into the meat of this thing about community service block grant that I was about to ask about.
Yes, our community service block grant, with that, we can assist clients with several different things. One of those things being our general emergency assistance program. And with that, we are able to help clients with rent. If they're looking to move into a new home, we can assist with the deposit and first month's rent. Through that, we can also provide other additional emergencies as we see fit. Also, we have nutrition assistance where we can assist with vouchers for residents to shop at local grocery stores. We also, with that particular grant, we can assist with eyeglasses and dental procedures. We are affiliated and partnered with several vendors for those services. And then we also have our employment and education program that we assist with through the Community Services Block Grant. And with that, we are partnered with several educational vendors where we can provide funds for short-term courses. So Horry Georgetown Tech is one of our largest vendor. And in Horry County, we are partnered with Professional Medical Center. So if anyone is interested in taking a course, as long as funds are available, we can assist with those things.
Shenika, the words community block grant or grants, we hear it all the time. I think that people may have a skewed idea of what a community block grant is all about. Something that it's related to infrastructure and economic development, commercial development, things of that nature. But what you've described is more of community services in terms of grant funding. So there is a difference between the community services block grant and community block grant. There is a difference, correct? Yes. Okay. Yes. All right. And your expertise is community services in terms of the block grant that you're talking about.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. I just thought we need to clear that, Brother Edward.
Yeah. Well, meaning what? You kind of elaborate on the two distinctions you just gave, April. Can you elaborate on the community service, which is what yours is?
Yes, the community services block grant. Yes, that's our federal grant where we can assist with the services that I just listed. Mm-hmm. And like what April was sharing, it's different from the community development block grant because with our grant, we don't assist with infrastructure, just the services at hand to promote self-sufficiency.
Exactly. Okay. All right. So, a question that I have immediately that relates to the community services, how much have you all increased your services or have seen the referral or inquiry increases since COVID? I'm sure that you've been pretty busy trying to assist people with the services that you're talking about, especially since COVID impacted the economy in such a grand way. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, we have definitely increased our intake as far as clients. We've eliminated a lot of barriers so that clients can receive services much more quicker and efficiently. We opened a new office in Hemingway. So we're now located at the Chavis One Stop. So that eliminated a transportation barrier for people of Williamsburg County. Instead of assistant clients coming into the offices now, we are able to allow them to apply online. Sometimes we'll have them to come by the office and drop off their information. We do curbside assistance when necessary. But yeah, with COVID, a lot has definitely changed for our organization, and also to implementing new programs to reach clients and, assist them where they are.
How sustainable is the funding? Meaning, how long will you all be able to assist people with these services through the Community Services Block Grant?
Well, it varies. We have our original LIHEAP grant that we, receive every year, but some of the services and grants that we receive due to COVID do have an expiration, some being next year and some being 2 years from now. So it just depends on the service.
What do you see people requesting most often when it comes down to the services?
We get a lot of people requesting utility assistance, and water showed up on our community needs assessment. So now we are able to provide that service. That's our newest service that just started October 1st.
Okay. All
so
right.
Water. So is that with the water bill, the utility bill?
Yes, we can now assist residents with their water bill in all 3 counties.
Okay. So what's the requirement? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Brother Edward.
What's the criteria? Yeah.
Okay, in order to receive assistance, we do have income eligibility. So clients will have to meet that need. And then we, have different things that we tell them to bring in. For instance, ID, social security cards, proof of income. And of course, we would need a copy of the bill.
Okay.
You gonna ask another question?
Yeah, and that's it. I mean, that's pretty straightforward, the requirements.
And every case is different. So that's just the general things that we require. But as we sit and assess our clients, there may be additional things that's needed.
Yeah.
So what happens for a person who does not have any income, since you say you require proof of income?
If they don't require income, then that means they are below our 150% poverty guideline. So we would be able to assist. And again, everything is on a case-by-case basis. So at that time, we would give more detail as to what we would be able to accept in that case.
When poverty guidelines, when you say poverty guidelines, what is the federal standard for poverty? What is considered poor?
Well, with our 2 programs, we have LIHEAP, which is our low income heating emergency assistance program. And I am sorry, in community action, we use a lot of acronyms. But with that program, that's where we are able to assist with utilities to include water. So the federal poverty guideline for that would be at 150%. So for a household of 1, I can't really tell you what that amount is. I don't know them by heart, but we do go by the gross income. So we would look at that and then determine from there.
Okay. People ask that question all the time. What is considered at or below the poverty level? Is it like 25,000, 14,000, 10,000 or whatever? Because sometimes those numbers seem a little, how do I say this? Unbelievable, so to say, meaning whenever you think of a poverty standard, if the number is low, let's say it's 14,000, and that could very well indicate a poverty level for a certain sector of the population. But also there's some people who make twice as much and they still need assistance with rent, utilities, and the things that you talked about. But, so the establishment of those poverty guidelines, I guess that, like you said, that comes from the federal government. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, okay. All right.
But what has changed? What has changed since COVID is that for our community services block grant, the federal poverty guideline increased. So we were at 125%, and now we're at 200%. So that has helped out tremendously. Now we can assist more people that now qualify.
Okay. When you say, so we start talking about percentages, 125 and 200% of what?
Mm-hmm.
Their income at the federal poverty guideline, and we go by gross.
Okay.
So it's 125% of their monthly gross income.
Okay. I guess the question, and you may not be able to answer it. It sounds like you can't really answer it because the numbers vary. But when you're looking at a scale, what do you know is actually considered the poverty line?
Right, and that comes from the federal government.
Okay.
They give us the guidelines, and we go from there.
Do they take into consideration the so-called economies of scale of each state? For example, South Carolina, whose income statistically is probably lower than New York or some of the other states. Is that factored in?
I cannot answer that question. I am not sure. I do know that, just what the poverty guidelines are for the state of South Carolina. So we're not the only community action agency in the state. So all community action agencies are at the same level for the state of South Carolina.
Brother Edward, I pulled up something real quick that I think is very interesting, and you probably will be able to give some background on this. But and this was it looks like information that came from Medicaid.gov. But for a family or household of 4 persons living in one of the 48 contiguous states or the District of Columbia, the poverty guideline for 2021 is $26,500.
26,000.
Mm-hmm.
A family of how many?
For a family or a household of 4 persons living in any one of the contiguous 48 contiguous states or the District of Columbia, the poverty guideline for 2021 is $26,500.
So that tells me that they don't consider again these economies of scale of each particular state, because some states are, for lack of a better word, poorer than others.
Right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So and they're subjected to the same criteria for getting or for being considered as that.
I pulled up some more information, and this is just great for conversation, Shenika.
Mm-hmm.
It says that in 2018, the federal poverty income threshold was $25,465 for a family of 4 with 2 children, and $17,308 for a single parent of 1 child. So that's for information that was pulled up based on an inquiry for poverty levels in South Carolina. And as far as the federal poverty level for 2021, again, it goes by household and family size. And to Shenika's point, there's like a certain percentage. There's 100%, 200% based on poverty level. So the 100% was the family of 4 at $26,500. 200% would be $53,000. So, Shenika, can you put that into context for us?
So with that, I see a few questions. With the poverty guideline increase, the income is just, it's different because, again, we have several programs. So with LIHEAP assistance, it's at 150% of the federal poverty, but anyone that is at 100% or less can get an additional credit toward what it is that we're giving out. Mm-hmm. And we have a point system, and that's with our direct assistance service. We have the emergency assistance program. And again, going back to the community services block grant, that was at 125 and now at 200%. So it's a little complicated because not all programs fall under, that poverty guideline level. But of course, with the increase to 200%, and they're hoping to make that permanent, we can assist more residents. So before, when someone would come in for assistance and they're working a good job, the income is really high, but they are in need, like Mr. Edward was sharing, not a lot of things are taken into consideration. Mm-hmm. We have to go by the gross income. There's nothing we can do. And it makes the job sometimes a little difficult because someone is truly in need, but we cannot bypass what the income poverty guideline is. So now that it has increased, all of those residents or people in the community can now receive assistance when they otherwise could not.
Exactly. We have a few questions and comments that are coming into the thread. Etta Green Carter, who is, let me get it right, Etta, I want you to correct me if I'm wrong. She is the South Carolina Adult Education Director of the Year, I believe it is.
She's the wizard. She's the wizard.
She's the bomb.com is what she is. Etta, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. And if I got that designation wrong, please make sure you correct me today and now. But she asked, due to the pandemic, has the 6-month waiting period for receiving services been relaxed? And you may have already answered that.
We do still, Ms. Etta, have the 6-month waiting period. However, everything, again, going back to being on a case-by-case basis, if someone is in an emergency situation or a crisis, that can be relaxed.
Okay. She also says, with the water, can you also help with residents that don't have running water in their homes? That's a good question.
Yeah, it's a very good question.
If they don't have running water, exactly what is it that we would be assisting with?
They're looking for running water.
Yeah, trying to get
they're
them
needing
up and running.
Yes, they're needing assistance with the water. Yes, we do pay the deposit for water and the tap fees that a lot of the water companies charge. We can pay those.
All right. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Let me see. She has a couple of other things up here. She always has good stuff. With the COVID-19 funds, is the income level different from your regular program?
Yes, and that's what I was sharing
That's
with the 125% increase into 200.
Okay. All right. She also let us know that the poverty guidelines are by county. They're listed. So it would be great information to do some research on and post, Brother Edward, as kind of like a follow-up to this, you know. Also, Priscilla Fuller, thank you for joining us tonight. She wants to know, what % of families did you provide rent assistance in Horry County?
I don't have a percentage, but we do assist a lot of families in Horry County with rent. We have 2 different rental assistance programs, one where we can assist clients with up to $2,000 with rent. And then because of COVID, we received another grant where we can assist with up to $4,000. So if you or anyone in that area needs assistance, we do have 3 offices in our Horry County service area.
Boy, do they need to know that.
Yeah.
People really need to know that.
Absolutely. To clarify the questions about the water and for people who do not have water, she's clarifying, note the city water in rural areas with wells and septic tanks. Can you help with that type of?
We cannot assist with wells and septic tanks, but for anyone, again, needing assistance with the tap fees, we can assist with that.
Okay. All right. Well, this is some really good information. That community services block grant seems invaluable, especially at a time like this. And you know, it's kind of interesting when we go back to the poverty guidelines and the income guidelines, and it's intriguing, if nothing else, that you know, the numbers do count, Brother Edward, and
absolutely,
what someone thinks is making too much money, someone else knows it's not, they're not making enough to make ends meet. So, you know, community service block grants like this and programs that exist are definitely helpful to a lot of people in the area. So you also provide educational support for families.
We do.
Okay. All right. Tell us a little bit about that.
With our education program, what we do is we assist clients who are interested in going to take like a short-term course. We assist a lot of clients with going to Professional Medical Center in Florence and Horry County. And one of the most popular programs that we assist with is CNAs and administrative professionals. So if they find a course that they're interested in taking, again, as long as we have the funds available, they meet the income criteria, we can pay for them to take that course.
Wow, yeah. Look, see, I thought I knew this stuff before, but you're really doing a tremendous job at articulating, you know, the all of the aspects of so far of WEOC. And I certainly appreciate that. We can come back to some comments. That you want to go to commercial, quickly?
It's totally up to you. Miss Shenika needs a break. We can take a quick break.
Yeah.
I'm fine. It doesn't matter.
What you want to do?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do some commercial, and then we'll come right back with because we're gonna load you down with some comments.
Well, she's got a lot more to talk about as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll be right back.
Right back. Okay.
All right, and we are back with Shenika Gibbs of Waccamaw EOC, and she's given us some excellent information on the community services block grant that assists people in need with everything from rent to now utilities and everything in between. Yeah. And she is the community services director for Waccamaw EOC and has been with Waccamaw EOC for 13 years now. So I think she knows what she's talking about. How about brother?
Yes. Some of these things these people need to hear over and over again because they just don't get it, and they're very, very important resources. I'm at all sometime what's being offered
of what's actually out there. Yeah,
what's out there. It's okay, but
there's one more question before we get off of the community services block grant altogether. Back to the renters help. Do they have to have an eviction notice?
They do have to have an eviction or late notice.
Okay. All right, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, so she's talked a little bit about the education support. Brother Edward, there was I think the next topic is something that is highly important that we definitely need to spend some time on, and that's the changes to the child tax credit from the IRS.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure there are going to be a lot of questions regarding the tax credit as well. So Shenika, tell us a little bit about what's going on with those changes.
Honestly, I don't have any updates as far as the changes. Whatever the IRS has posted on their website is pretty much current and accurate. What we do as a community action organization, we just want to help people and promote that, with these credits, it can be used to do different things to promote self-sufficiency. So because it is for the children, we do have a Head Start program. We just want residents, people in the community to know and understand that those funds are crucial to the development of the child and also the parent. So a lot of the clients that we do serve come in if they're needing assistance with transportation or childcare. We just try to encourage them to use those funds or to help them find the resources to help with getting those services.
So now when you say the credits are used for those services, you mean in the form of the checks that they've been getting
per month
through COVID and all that other good stuff.
Yeah.
And why I think this is so critical is because I know that there's a lot of conversation, especially since we're coming up on December and pretty soon tax time, about what these child tax credits mean for the person who believes that they will be filing a tax return in January. Can you shed some light on that?
From what I know is that what they're currently receiving now, it's half of what they would have actually been receiving from a full return. So they are still able to, file their tax return and receive the remaining credits that they did not receive throughout the year.
And that's if they were working.
Yes.
Okay. I think that's the crucial piece, Brother Edward.
Yeah. So, and if they, as opposed to them not working.
If they are not working, would they still receive the child tax credit?
Right. Yeah. Right.
I'm not exactly sure. I'm sorry. I would just have to refer you to the IRS's website.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Because it just changes and it's always different. So as far as any current updates from when they first started with it, I don't have that information right now.
Sounds like another show, Brother Edward.
You
need to find us a tax expert for next week or the week after that.
Yeah. And we're gonna have one coming.
Tax time.
Yeah, we're gonna have one coming from tax time. Maybe have more than one because nobody does the taxes the same. But we're gonna do that, April. And so, Shenika, do you you all don't deal with tax assistance or anything, right? That's
no,
not one of the services.
We don't provide tax assistance. Black River United Way, I'm not sure if you all are familiar with them, but they provide that service through Vista during the tax year.
Mm-hmm.
So the few events that I've gone to with WCM and Mr. Paisley and a few others, to me, I just was my observation, and I didn't talk to anyone about it, but it seems like the largest of these groups of these jurisdictions that have served, is it Williamsburg County?
No, actually it's Horry County. Horry County is our largest service area. Yes.
Okay. It just seemed like there was an abundance of people from Williamsburg that were attending these functions, which I was we were invited. The magazine was invited. So
we get great support from Williamsburg County, but Horry County is our largest service area.
And if I may add, some very, very capable people who in supervisory positions there and who are doing those work. I mean, they seem to be on the ball. Okay. And and love their job.
Oh yeah. Okay. Staff is phenomenal and they are very passionate about what they do.
Yeah. It just seemed that way. And that's good to see.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's good to see. So April, there's another issue. If April, if you don't have anything else to say, there was another service that I was intrigued about. The Head Start, has that changed any over the years? Because you've got early Head Start and then you just got Head Start.
Yes, not so much changes. They are right now recruiting and looking for children to be placed in their classrooms, so to speak. But yes, we do have the Early Head Start program, which is only offered right now in Williamsburg County at the Chavis One Stop Center. And then we do have multiple Head Start centers, again, throughout Horry, Georgetown, and Williamsburg counties.
So what kind of functions are taking place for example, in Horry County? There seems to be a large building that houses all of the WEOC's operation and so forth. Is that one of the ones where you might have Head Start, or are you contemplating one for such in that building?
Not necessarily in that building, but possibly in that area. But at the main office in Conway that houses our CSBG department, which Community Services Block Grant. So we have an office there, and also our finance, IT, We do have the Head Start director housed there, and then we are getting ready to open an additional suite where we're coming up with an initiative called the Step Up program. And with that, yes. So that's our skills training and enrichment program where we'll be able to assist single parents or not necessarily single parents, but parents age 17 to 24 years old that are looking, to improve themselves. Again, our initiative is always self-sufficiency. We're wanting to provide them assistance where they can get a job, a living wage, so that they are able to, maintain themselves and that of their children also.
I don't know I don't recall you doing in the past 2 summers there, but there was good cooperation between the 2 summer job programs. The Rural Community magazine had a summer job program, and we were kind of cooperating with them, providing students there and other resources. Were you part of that by any chance? I don't recall you.
You're talking about our YETS program, the Youth Employment Training and Skills.
Right.
Yes, we do provide that service during the summer to 16 and 18-year-olds, in high school. And again, that's in Horry, Georgetown, and Williamsburg County. But yeah, you were assisting with the ones in Horry County and also through our summer foods.
Again, I got to applaud the programs for that. I think Ms. Evans was one of the supervisors there. They just did there was a tremendous project that was going on, and they had an entrepreneurial project where the students made up their own businesses, like t-shirt business, and one was a wraparound for cars and all that good stuff. I was just left in awe. I really wasn't, and I applaud everybody for that. So
yeah.
So April, what our comments again? April is about the project with the Williamsburg County.
Yes, Etta mentioned that there's a project with Williamsburg County and wants Ms. Gibbs to tell us a little bit more about that.
All right, that is our Donnelly Community Initiative project. And with that, what we're doing is assisting that particular community with the different needs that they've shared with us as far as what they want assistance with. We meet every last Monday of the month there at the Chavis Center inside of the cafeteria. So we've created a small community of community leaders and residents that we meet with monthly to talk about the different needs. And we're guiding them and putting them in the right places so that they can, better that community. So we've been working now with this initiative for about 2 years with the help of Black River United Way. We hosted several different focus groups, going out, speaking with community leaders. We also spoke with some of the students at the high schools just to get a general idea of what it is that they're wanting. So from that, we meet with them monthly and again, try to assist them in moving into the right direction.
So for the most part, do people take advantage of the services that you all provide, or do you find it challenging to, because sometimes when we have resource fairs and other opportunities for, people in certain communities, it's like pulling teeth to get people to show up. What's been kind of the formula for your success in that? Or tell us a little bit about, what you need the community to know about why they should show up for these services.
Well, I find that the more that they know, they'll actually show up. What I do hear, honestly, a lot is that no one knows a lot about what Waccamaw EOC does. So we do have a community service outreach specialist by the name of Jason Orning. We utilize him very well. He does a very good job with going out and promoting our services. He's connected with a lot of different partners, throughout the counties. He attends meetings to share. We just recently launched our Facebook page, so we do try to post services there. But we do a lot of times have a lot of funds in, and we want to assist the community. So when you hear about it, even tonight with listening to a lot of what I'm sharing, share it with your family members, neighbors, tell them to come out. We have 6 offices that offer assistance, 3 being in Horry County, 2 in Williamsburg County, and 1 in Georgetown County.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the more they know, the more they utilize.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and I do like to congratulate and applaud Jason. He is doing a fantastic job.
Yes, he is.
He's reached out a number of times, and we've connected, and he's doing a good job at that. I just got to say, so kudos to Jason.
He does really well.
Yeah, right, absolutely. We'll connect fully after a while. We'll get it going. And he works pretty hard.
You, Etta. Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. The employment training. I particularly want to know a little bit more about that. Are people coming in for the employment training? Do they understand the need and the critical nature of making sure that they take advantage of that particular program? I know that there are a lot of businesses that are looking for help, and for whatever reason, people are not going in, or we have an underemployment issue, and hopefully that'll turn the curve in 2022. But what's the trend as far as these employment training programs are concerned?
Honestly, lately we have not been having a lot of people to, utilize the service. We have our case managers who try to work with them as far as resume building, interview skills, to get them to where they need, but they just don't take advantage of it. I think, a lot has to do now with COVID and the additional benefits and, things that they are receiving from the federal government. It makes it difficult to, want to kind of go out and do anything,
Mm-hmm.
even in the labor force, as far as us with trying to get additional staff on board.
Mm-hmm.
We would have interviews and sometimes they don't really show up. So it's been very challenging lately, but we do assist with that. We do provide the necessary training, counseling, anything that we can do to, help get any of our clients to self-sufficiency.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Do you make the transportation available? Do you have access to free transportation for these people when you want them to? You have any vans and buses?
I mean, we have agency vehicles that we can provide, transportation if needed, but it's not necessarily a service that, they call in and say, hey, I need a ride, and we go and pick them up. But, if they come in and they're needing assistance and say, for example, they need to get a copy of their income when the Social Security office was open, we would probably, take them there to get it and come back and different things like that. We even sometimes accompany our clients to the grocery stores if needed.
So what's with all the school buses that park there in
Our Head Start school buses are strictly for Head Start children.
Oh, okay. So that many, quite a bit, because you got a number of buses over there.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that sounds good. That's a good head start. I mean, to get
Brother Edward.
no.
Did you do that?
That's good head start.
Okay.
That's good. Thank you so much, Shenika.
To the towel. Yeah. Okay. All right. Etta wants to know if you have classes for the spring.
Well, Ms. Etta, we don't actually provide the classes. Like I was sharing earlier, if someone finds a class that they're interested in taking, and as long as we are partnered with that particular organization, we can pay for the courses. So again, Horry Georgetown Tech, Williamsburg Tech, Professional Medical Center, again, is one of our larger vendors in in Florence and Horry County. So they do have courses coming up for spring. You can check them out, give us a call at any of our locations, and we can get you situated.
All right. Well, there were a couple of flyers that you have a question before I show these flyers, Brother Edward?
I can come back for it. It's about community colleges like Horry Georgetown Tech. Do you assist with funds if somebody wanted to go to? Of course, things have changed now since the governor has issued this proclamation saying that all junior colleges are free now. So I guess that question is mute. I guess they don't need the funds. Yeah.
But for any courses that they do need funds, come see us.
All right.
All right. Well, we have a couple of flyers that Shenika has provided, and I'm going to pull these up on the screen, and you'll hear her voice if you can describe what it is that the flyer is promoting. This one is more about the community services block grant.
Yes, and here on this flyer, as you can see, there are the contact information for the different offices. Again, Horry County, we have 3 site locations, one in Conway, one in Loris, and one in Myrtle Beach. And then Georgetown County and then Williamsburg County now has 2 centers. Community Services Block Grant, there you'll see listed the different programs that we have to assist. And down at the bottom is our low income home energy assistance, which you'll probably hear us reference as LIHEAP. That's our utilities and water. We can assist with electric and gas and water.
All right. And then the second flyer is more about that. Need assistance with your water bill?
Yes. Need assistance with your water bill? Contact us in Horry, Georgetown, and Williamsburg County. This program just started in October. It's moving a little slow, but we're hoping to get the word out. So tell everybody that right now, Waccamaw EOC can assist with water. So just give a call to any of the offices that you see located on the flyer, and we'll get you set up with an appointment.
All right.
Wow, it's too bad you don't assist with people with wells and stuff, because I mean, because I don't know why, but that's just outside of the county, I guess. Outside the city limits. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, the program just started actually statewide. So later, different things may be added as to what we can assist with. But at this time, we cannot, I'm sorry, assist with wells and septic tanks.
Yeah. Did they ever give a reason for that? Especially the septic tanks. I mean.
No general reason.
Because if it ever floods in these certain areas, it's a disaster.
Yeah.
We're,
again, hoping that, as we move forward with these different programs, things will change, and then that could be one thing to be added. Also, when we do our community needs assessment, that would be great for people to, include that on there as far as the need. And,
right.
The more the community speaks and we hear it, we come up with innovative services. So maybe
right.
that'll be something we can add.
Okay. Yeah, fantastic.
Well, Brother Edward, this has been some great information from Ms. Shenika, and
seems like a lot of people think so.
Yeah, excellent work. Yes.
Right. It seems
under her direction at Waccamaw EOC.
Absolutely.
And we can't stress it enough. These programs are for those who need it.
Really
make sure you take advantage of the programs if you need it, and if you don't need it, tell somebody else about it. Yeah, tell somebody about it. Yeah.
So, we mentioned much earlier, before the show, that about what just happened in Georgetown with the naming of the new post office, federal post office, named for Joseph Rainey. He was the first black person to serve in the United States House of Representatives, period. And the second black person to serve in the United States Congress. So just a brief overview of Mr. Rainey. He was born in slavery in South Carolina. He and his family were freed in the 1840s when his father purchased their freedom. Both Rebels and Rainey were members of the Republican Party. Okay, so there wasn't a whole lot of distinction there between the different Republican parties during that time. But Joseph Rainey was born into slavery in 1832 in Georgetown, South Carolina. Yeah, I knew that'd get your attention. I knew that'd get your attention. So he and his brother, his mother, Grace, was his mother's name, was of African and French descent. Yeah, you can go online on the Joseph Rainey. You can see what he looks like. But what the other importance of this mentioning of this today was one is that I'm kind of envisioning maybe this summer we can go on some field trips, and WCM can collaborate with the World Community Magazine Summer Jobs Program, and we can all go on the field trips, and that could be part of the field trips right there in Georgetown. Okay, to see. It's not just the post office that they have denoting him. I mean, they have an historical plaque, a historical sign there that's standing. I think that's probably where he was living. in Georgetown. So I wanted to bring that up, and kudos to Congressman Tom Rice and Congressman from South Carolina, Clyburn. My understanding is that they sponsor that, and they sponsor that as a bill in the United States Congress. And lo and behold, this post office is now called the Joseph Rainey Post Office, right in Georgetown. So I had to get that in. And
I think that's a wonderful moment in Black history, and we need to get those congressmen behind some other historic markers and landmarks in South Carolina to make sure that kind of thing is consistently happening throughout our area.
Absolutely. So, and we've got only a few more minutes. April, and Shenika, April, if you didn't want to say anything, it's these community action agencies. Do you run into any kind of legal? I know you're a nonprofit. I know that. But what kind of legal? And this is important because the people who want to give to that agency, they need to know how to give other than monetary. So what examples do you have that people can follow to if they wanted to donate their resources in any kind of way?
If not monetary, just if you can provide any information that helps us be a source of information to residents, again, please utilize the services. We get a lot of funds coming in for client assistance, and the goal is to not have any funds to return at the end of the year to the state. So the more clients we can assist, the more people can get the word out. We just appreciate more of helping us to be known in the communities. So again, being informative, if you can provide any type of resource as to helping our clients, a financial advisor that would like to, come in and speak, any of that would be great.
Come in and speak to your group, or you assemble a group from the community?
Both. Anybody with the expertise more than possibly what the case managers may have is always great. Right now, we're looking to start working with with the Goodwill to provide services where we can go out and then have everyone to meet us there if that helps versus coming into the office. So anything along those lines would definitely be grateful. Monetary donations doesn't always have to be, a way of giving, just providing the service in itself. So any expertise, again, any information that can also at times be shared with us so we can further be a source of information to residents is always helpful.
Okay, kudos to Mr. Paisley, James Paisley.
Yes.
He's the chief executive officer there, and has been for a number of years.
Yes.
So obviously his tenure there indicates that he's been doing a wonderful job, a great job.
He has been. He's an excellent director.
Yeah. And all employees think they talk well of him.
Yeah.
And that's good to hear when you're in a CEO like that. When your employees talk well about you. When you don't hear anything,
awesome leader.
Yeah, when you don't hear anything, you're in trouble. He's in trouble. But so in that case, yeah. So April, we got a couple. I guess we should wrap things up now. But I hate to use the word wrapping up because this information that she's dispensing is so powerful and needs to be said over and over and over again.
Well, the beauty about what we do, Brother Edward, is that this broadcast is available over and over again. They can go to our Facebook page and watch this broadcast. They can also go to our website at WCMagazine.net to view the broadcast, and you can view it through the rest of this week. And after that, it's on our YouTube page forever. So you can, definitely pull it up, watch it, and share it. You can share a link to this broadcast. So don't be stressed out if you haven't captured all of the information. As a matter of fact, you can do a playback, take your notes. You can pass this on to someone else to watch. Yeah. We definitely would appreciate it if you would do that. And but before we wrap up tonight, there are a couple of things that I definitely want to mention. And Brother Edward, I can't believe you forgot one of them, but there's the November issue of World Community Magazine. I'm going to pull that up. Brother Edward, you want to talk about what's in the magazine?
See, I left that entirely for you.
No, you didn't. Don't believe him, Shenika. Don't believe him. Brother Edward. Yes. What do you have in the magazine? Lots of stuff.
Oh man, it's even in addition to what's listed there. Like the Bucksport Improvement Program was propagated. I'm gonna use this word again. Propagated at the Horry County Council, and our brother Kevin Mishu did a fantastic job there, representing the citizens of Bucksport that are really being impacted by a lack of efforts by the authorities to mitigate, do something with the mitigation of flooding there at Bucksport. And something really needs to be done, so that in itself, and secondly, the jazz festival that took place, this happens every year over at Myrtle Beach. In fact, the head of the NAACP over there, Mickey James, and his wonderful wife, Sherry, Bill James, did a fantastic job, and people should check it out and see some of the photos of the things that went on there. And of course, moving down, we've got 101 years. Look, that's my role model. This lady is 101 years old and counting. I think she wanted to dance, but we had Brother Orton Bellamy there to kind of smooth things out. But she turned 101 years, Miss Iva May Ward, and in there has her class picture, her high school graduation photo. Wow. I mean, not just the photo, but the group, the class of, I believe, 1946, I believe. And that group is in there, and she's distinguished by a color rendition of her standing in there. And also, of course, who's always doing a great job, all of our sororities, but we're just focused on this time, the AKA sororities, nationally and locally. Nationally, they just mustered up a number of millions of dollars for the HBCUs. Man, that was fantastic. Yeah, that was great.
You had a great community forum. What is it, last weekend before last?
Absolutely. And guess who was one of the moderators there? Guess who?
I enjoyed myself, and I moderated a panel on diversity in education, but the rest of the information was just as intriguing. It was really good. Well done.
Yeah. Well, I got a lot of feedback on that, really. Mm-hmm. Okay. And in April at Myrtle Beach, they had, you would think that you were at the Emmys. They had, this is called the Local Black Excellence Awards. I'm telling you, they put on a show. Okay. They had, so-called local celebrities come out and then present plaques to winners who were chosen on Facebook among nominees for their contribution to the community, and it just came across very, very well. Decked out, of course. Okay, and Father's Place is always doing this thing.
Always doing something.
Yeah. Always doing something. So we just put the title on it saying that they keep publishing or polishing great fathers, and indeed they do. Okay, Reverend Wallace Evans, the CEO there, hardworking young man. I'm gonna say young man. I'm gonna call him there. I know he's looking, so hardworking young man doing a great job. He and Sandra Faison, the rest of the crew there, 2 or 3 places they have around the community, around the surrounding jurisdictions, and over during the month of October, now political conferences are spotlighting Myrtle Beach. They want to come here and have their conferences. We had Democrat and Republican doing the same, like 2 weeks apart at local hotels, and that was.
Of course they do.
Yeah, that was amazing. I mean, it wasn't amazing, but it was good to have that kind of notoriety there. So we highlighted it. Okay, and we had photos of all of the people who were operating there, the local Democratic Party and the local Republican Party.
Okay.
So health-wise, we got to stay on top of our cholesterol. So all these stuff you're going to find in our magazine. Hope you find the good findings on cholesterol, which is back in the spotlight again. This one of the specific cases was the focus on a person's eyesight. They can look at your eyes and tell you if your cholesterol is very high. That's interesting, and I found that to be true according to doctors.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so she didn't leave us, did she?
I don't know, but I'll just take it off the screen and let
take it off the screen. All
if
right.
she comes back, we will.
We will.
Yeah, but well, great November issue. You should be in touch with Brother Edward if you'd like to pick up a copy or to subscribe. Also, you can go to WCMagazine.net to check the cover and also the replay of tonight's broadcast. I also want to make mention of a show that comes on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. It's a great education show that is hosted by Janet Keith Thompson, and it's called Educate Our Youth. Yeah. For the past, over a year now, Janet has featured the virtual college tour. She actually started that at the height of COVID, really? So that she could continue to bring good information to the youth and parents about college options, career readiness, and things like that. And I asked her for a list of colleges, and I believe that she has introduced to the public more than 30 colleges and universities. I won't say primarily HBCUs, but definitely a lot of HBCUs and other colleges. And I think it's a wonderful service that she has, because a lot of times students don't have the opportunity to visit all of these colleges, especially now. So she brings the show every Tuesday at 6 p.m. featuring a new college every single week. And pretty soon she's going to be featuring some new topics that are college or career related. And so one of the show for tomorrow at 6 p.m. is going to feature Patrick Stevenson. He's the admissions counselor for Fayetteville State University. That's and right. So, if you are working with the youth and, talking about college and career readiness, if you're a parent who's actually traveling down that road now and you're trying to, kind of filter through all of the college options, you'll want to tune in every Tuesday at 6 p.m. to watch this particular broadcast. It's only 30 minutes long, because Janet she's not a long-winded talker, but it's a powerful 30 minutes in that she interviews each of these special guests, asks them about the campus life, the admissions process, financial aid, all of that good stuff. And she brings this information to us every single week. So, it is another powerful show to support here in Horry County. Educate Our Youth, which is it's a product of the Mamie Keith and Aline Bradley Educational Foundation, which is a nonprofit organization that Janet and her son and Reverend Odell Bradley founded. And so please tune in tomorrow at 6 p.m., every Tuesday at 6 p.m. and, learn more about the colleges. And if you're in college and career readiness, get in touch with Janet, because she would love to feature your information and your service, your organization or institution on this show as well. So,
I wish you could say that over and over again, because, our HBCUs, some of them are, they're just, as far as I'm concerned, all colleges are underfunded, even some of the flagship universities. But we've got to pay close attention to what's being offered at our HBCUs. It's a mighty, mighty product there. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And kudos to Janet that she can bring these kind of things together, and especially when we start talking about admission policies, virtuality of each campus and stuff like that. I mean, I just think it's fantastic.
Yeah, doing an excellent job. And it takes a lot to Brother Edward, as you and I know, to pull together a show like that, and to bring that kind of information in. And because she is an educator herself, she understands the importance of making sure that parents and students are informed, it should be about more than just the athletics. And you got to make sure that you have a healthy balance of athletics and academics if you're an athlete. But if you're a scholar, you got to make sure that you're picking a college or university that is going to nurture your passions and your motivation as far as what you want your career path to be. And so she's brought in a lot of great information, and I'll just name a few: Claflin, Allen, Morehouse College, Savannah State, in North Carolina A&T, Virginia State, North Carolina Central, Johnson C. Smith, Bethune-Cookman, Florida A&M, Tuskegee, Fisk, Elizabeth City State, Alabama A&M, and now Fayetteville State University, just to name a few. She's featured all of those schools on her show.
April, my understanding, we got over 100 HBCUs, right?
Mm-hmm.
But was it 105, something like that? 100,
okay.
Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And that means she's got a ways to go. Okay.
She does. There's a lot of information out there. Yeah. And it isn't just the HBCUs. Her thing is to introduce students to a variety of options, because, we definitely want to support HBCUs, but again, students and parents have to make an informed decision. And it's all about picking a college that has a program that will nurture and elevate your interests as far as what you want your career path to be. So if you want to be a nurse, you want to go to a school that has a strong nursing program, whether it's a 4-year college or 2-year community college. If you want to be a teacher, or if you want to be a doctor or an engineer, or whatever the case is, so she's trying to introduce people to options. And what we're finding too is that as we're talking to these colleges, there is so much available out there in terms of financial aid. There's one college, their tuition was only a couple of $100, because they really are trying to get students through the door. And that was in-state and out-of-state tuition. So I think these colleges and universities are trying to, get creative and be innovative about the money piece, because that's the piece that so many people have problems with. They might be able to get that child in during that first year, but the second, third, and fourth year, maybe even the fifth year, are very, very tough, especially if they can't get scholarships. So, great show. Once again, Tuesdays at 6 p.m., only 30 minutes. Make sure you start to tune in. If you missed I named that list of colleges that she's featured, and that's not all that she's done since she's been doing this. And if you've missed them, she has a YouTube page as well, YouTube channel, and all of these shows are on that YouTube channel. So you'll want to go there and get the information about the schools and contact her directly if you need a contact for the school, or of course, all of the guests are featuring their contact information if you want to get in touch with them directly. So
she's doing her part.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, definitely.
She's doing her part.
Above and beyond. She's doing her part and making it happen. So, Brother Edward, this has been a good show tonight. Thank you so much. Shenika, I know you can hear us. We can't see you, so don't worry about it. We're good. You gave us some great information. Thank you so very much.
Fantastic information.
Yes, thank you so very much. And thank you to our audience, our guests tonight. There were a lot of people watching, but there's always the one or two who are bold enough to say a little something. And that's good. We appreciate you every single week for being engaged and involved in the discussion. So, Brother Edward, once again, you need to find us somebody from the a tax person or somebody from the IRS to talk about these child tax credits. I just don't want people to be in trouble come next year, or have some, misconceptions about what they're going to be able to do or get in the form of tax refunds and things of that nature. They got to understand the ins and outs of what they are accepting with these tax credits. So
I've been hearing some awesome, not tales, but some awesome products from tax preparers about what these some of these people are getting. Okay, and it's very helpful. Very helpful. And so they need to know that these things like that are available. Yeah, it's out there. It's out there.
Definitely
Okay.
out there. Okay.
All right. So to our audience, this has been beautiful. And those of you who tuned in, we thank you very much. I guess I can speak for April.
Yep, you can.
Also, yeah. So we thank you very much. And so until next week, same time at 7 p.m. Next week, by the way, our special guest will be that's scheduled is the president and CEO of the Conway Medical Center. He's going to share with us all the new the things about how COVID has impacted the adjustments that they have had to make, and all of their expansion. By the way, it's going to be very helpful to us to know that what these services are available so close. Okay, sometimes we don't have to go to Charleston or some these major places. Okay. So a lot of acquisitions have been taking place, and by the Conway Medical Center. Of course, they're in collaboration with Duke University now, so that should make things a lot more transparent. And so, until next week, yes, we'll have the chief administrator of the Conway Medical Center as our special guest. So,
sounds
next
great.
Week, 7 p.m. right here, WCM Live.
All right, Brother Edward.
Okay.
Well, thank you so much. Y'all have a great week.
Thanks to everybody. Thanks. See you next.
Thank you for watching the World Community Magazine's Hour of Power Live on Facebook with your host Edward McQueen and April Garner.